If you have a Nissan or Infiniti with a 5.6 liter V8, you need to install one of these immediately, if not sooner. An oil catch can. This one happens to be from UPR. The Nissan 5.6 is a fantastic engine. It's been around for a long time and it has proven itself, establishing a reputation for durability and longevity. With that said, they do produce a lot of blow-by and they do have direct port injection. So over time there can be a lot of carbon and gum buildup around the valves, and that can hinder fuel mileage and throttle response and things of that nature. So installing a catch can ensure efficiency over a long period of time in these engines. Should be a relatively straightforward installation, and the UPR kit is super good looking. The bracket, can, and fittings are all super nice, and the braided Continental lines are really heavy duty and durable. I'm just winging it here, but for the most part, I think you're just going to need a needle nose pliers and a 10mm socket. Depending on the year and model, your engine cover may not have the 10mm. It might just pop up and out. In this case, the 10mm bolts hold the front end down, pull it up, and pop it out the back. This bracket here serves as the mounting point for the catch can. This is a 10mm bolt as well, so simple. I noticed that out of the box, the catch can itself was a little bit loose, so just tighten it down. Finger tight, don't want to over tighten it and wreck the gasket in there. They have some really nice images on their website, but for a closer look, the hose we're dealing with on the passenger side of the vehicle goes from the intake manifold over to the valve cover, which you can see right there. So I just need needle nose pliers to take the clips off. The driver's side is much more easily accessible from, again, the intake manifold to the valve cover there. It's kind of tough to get to. Now, because the lengths of the hoses are cut just right, kind of tell you by themselves exactly where they go. So I'm just laying these out for layout purposes, and you get an idea. This one connects to the can, of course, with the nice fitting. Goes from intake manifold back to intake manifold. This one, of course, here goes from valve cover across to the other valve cover. Never used these sort of clamps before, but they're really sleek looking. Slides on the end of the hose. Huh. Nice and tight, wow. I'm gonna route this one under. Try to keep it clean. The passenger side valve cover one is a little bit of a beast. Tough to get into. A lot of these lines and this big loom are kind of in the way. Probably take this bracket off and move some of these hoses out of the way, make it a bit easier. This clip, oof, nightmare on the wrist. Slice you open if you are not careful. Other than that, really straightforward installation. Looks good. I rerouted this line a little bit to go underneath the bracket between the little intake resonator underneath those hoses just to hide it a bit. But guys, after all that work, I noticed something. I couldn't put the engine cover back on because plastic is in the way. Now, you could cut that plastic out, but I like how the engine cover looks, so it's easy enough for me to simply go in here using the same bracket. I'll just put a self-tapper right on top of the bracket there, and we'll have it mounted almost centered. UPR catch can for the Nissan 5.6 liter V8 checks all the boxes. Relatively inexpensive, simple installation, actually functions and benefits your vehicle, and it looks great after installation. You can't beat it. Check out the links in the description below if you're interested in doing this installation. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'm not a professional. I'm not a mechanic. This isn't necessarily a how-to, but it is how I was able to accomplish the installation. Thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate the continued support up to this point. More stuff coming for the channel, so I hope you stick around. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.